Hello and welcome back. Now up until this moment, most of you probably know me as someone who is flying big and expensive ships. Well, today I have something to change that. This is a Stabber fleet, the Minmatar military ship. Now, I do like this ship a lot. These ships are known for their speed, they're known for their very good agility, and of course they are known for their decent DPS. Now when we look at this ship, I have to say I like the camouflage on it. The navy ships have unique military patterns on their hulls, and of course you have the other two event skins, and you have this one that you can buy, which looks very good, and I think I might get one for myself. Now onto the ship characteristics. It doesn't have a roll bonus. The advanced medium cannon operation bonus per level will give you plus 10% medium cannon accuracy fall-off, minus 5% cannon activation time, and the advanced cruiser command bonus per level will give you plus 5% flight velocity, plus 5% scan resolution, and plus 5% sensor strength. Overall, pretty decent skills and pretty decent bonuses. Now the ship has 1 drone, 5 high slots, 3 medium slots, and 4 low slots, 2 combat rigs, and 2 engineering rigs, which is not bad. It's actually pretty decent. Its shield armor and structure is so far good. You can make the ship work as a shield and armor tank, and of course that depends from the situation. 86.4 meter signature radius. That's kind of odd. I mean, I expect that to be lower, but I guess it's fine. And the rest of the specs are also pretty decent and pretty comparable to the other navy ships. Now let me just show you something really quickly. This is the Cinnabal, and let me show you its signature radius because I think it's kind of funny. Now this cruiser is, I think, the longest and most massive cruiser in the game. 522 meters is this ship long, and well, that's actually longer than some battle cruisers. And let me just take a look at its signature radius. 70 meters. Interesting. So a longer ship and a more heavier ship has lower signature radius than a ship that's actually almost twice shorter. Oh, that's fine. I guess that's fine. Now let me show you the fit. 432.90 DPS at the moment, using 5 C-type medium autocannons. I did have 5 of these turrets just laying around, but it's not necessary to use them. You can use the Republic fleet and of course the other turrets. They should work just fine, but I did have C-types lying around, so I did pick up those. Overall, pretty decent performance. Dual medium energy Nosferatu and 1 Federation Navy stasis Webifer. Now you can replace one of these with a target painter to increase the signature radius of your target. It can help with hitting smaller frigates and destroyers, and also you can make a combination with dual webs and 1 target painter in the low slots, 1 afterburner, 1 invulnerability field, 1 reactive, and 1 medium shield booster. As for the rigs, now I did decide to go with a tank fit because it already has a decent DPS, and you can replace one of these rigs for a higher rate of fire. Now this one will give you a shield bonus, 30% overall shield volume, which is good and helps with a shield tank. Well, this rig will give you 30% better shield boosting. Now you can replace this rig with a rate of fire rig, which should improve your DPS by around 30%. It can work for PvP, it depends from the build that you're aiming for. But so far I am quite satisfied with the performance of this ship. And well, let's quickly demonstrate the speed and the tank. Now the reactive will give you resistance according to the incoming damage type, and you can use dual invulnerability fields. In most cases, if you go for a full tank fit, dual invulnerability fields are actually better, but I like to use a reactive, and so far it's been working quite well. The ship's velocity is also really nice, it's just as fast as the Cinnabar. Now this is the PvP fit. I have one scrambler and dual webs to keep the targets slow and, well, scrambled. In the low slots I have one MVD, dual gyro stabilizers, and I have one medium shield extender. Now you can theoretically put a large shield extender if you have the power grid for it, or you can use a large shield booster. Of course, all of these fits work, and this is the fit that I am using at the moment. Of course, you can replace this rig with a rate of fire or a damage rig, which should improve your DPS a little bit more. Now let's quickly check out the active DPS and active speed of this fit. Okay, MVD is on. Now let me enable the gyros and the shield extender. 782.18 DPS, that is not a bad number, that's actually quite decent. It could be a lot higher if I had rigs for damage and rate of fire. The tank is 8,197 shield hit points. For some reason it doesn't want to load up the extra shield once it's activated. That's kind of weird. It should be around 13,000 shield once it's activated, and 3 kilometers per second velocity. That's not bad at all. With better rigs, this thing can go up to 4.5 to 5k with a MVD on. Now, I know that I did promise this a while ago, and well, finally I have the resources and time to do it. Every week I will be giving out one ship to a random person, and well, this is going to be the first ship that I'm going to give you. It is this Stabber fleet that I am going to be using in this video. The ship will go with the current fit that you can see here. Every module that you see here you will get absolutely for free. And in order to participate, or in order to have a chance to get the ship, like and subscribe, and of course you have to comment in this video. And in 48 hours I will choose one of the comments in this video, and well, I'll definitely contact you in the comment section, and well, from there on we will continue in the game, and from there on I will give you this ship for free. Alright, well, let's see what this thing can offer. Now, been using this ship for tier 8 storylines, been using this ship for tier 8, tier 9 encounters. So far haven't encountered any problem. The ship did perform excellent, no issues whatsoever. The tank is stable, the dual Nosferatus are doing a good job to replenish the capacitor, and the rig for the shield, especially for the shield boost, is ensuring that you are going to get a lot more shield boosted per cycle, which is very good, and the effect is going to be noticed a lot more if you use a large shield booster. Now, the large shield booster will use a lot more capacitor, so you will have to be careful and you have to time the usages of it. But in theory, a large C-type shield booster should give you 1100 shield per cycle. With the current fit, that is a big number, and you can actually boost the whole shield in just under 6 cycles. That's very good. That's less than a minute of shield boosting, and there aren't many ships that are going to be able to break that tank. Of course, you are not going to be able to boost infinitely because it's a large shield booster, but you should be able to hold out a minute and a half up to 2 minutes, and that is more than enough for most fights. That works mostly for PvP. For storylines, for PvE, this fit is going to do the job. Of course, you can try to use the large shield booster. It should do the job just fine, but you might have to boost your shield a lot more often in a storyline, and your capacitor might run out. That's why I use the medium shield booster with this fit. Now this is a speed tank combined with a shield tank. Like I said earlier, you can make the ship to be a armor tank. It works very well as a armor tank. For that you will have to change the current rigs into armor rigs, pretty much the equivalent of the current shield rigs that I have. And of course you'll have to change the resistance mods and the repairer into a armor repairer, which should work just fine. I think you can actually go with a dual armor wrap on this. Should work just fine. And the capacitor should also last infinitely long, just like with the shield tank fit. Now, what's better, a shield tank or a armor tank? Well, it mostly depends on the storyline. It depends on the ship, it depends on your skills, and overall it depends on your enemy. Amar storylines are perfect for armor tanks, while the Galante storylines are perfect for shield tanks, but you can make the opposites work just fine. Cavalier storylines can also be done with both tanks, and Minmatar storylines can be done with a armor tank, but a shield tank is going to do a little bit better in that case. It all depends from ship to ship. Some ships are meant to be shield tanks, some ships are meant to be armor tanks. And this ship, Minmatar ships can actually do both. They are quite flexible in that. But Minmatar ships love to be fast, and Minmatar ships are excellent for speed tanking. And well, so far you could see me use the speed tank for vast majority of stuff that I do, including PvP. But having a active tank besides a speed tank is definitely going to be a good idea, especially for storylines. Now, range is definitely one of the best things that you have in the game. A ranged fit is most likely going to be the superior type of combat, because you can snipe your enemies without taking damage, and if you don't take damage then you don't need a tank. So if you did have such a thing in the game, it would have been called range tank, I guess. That is kind of ridiculous if you think about it, but it kind of works perfectly fine. If you can snipe your targets at 100 kilometers without a tank, without speed, then you are basically tanking on the range, in theory, I guess. But that is called sniping, and with drones it works the best. It works with some battle cruisers. It works with drone ships as well. For example, the Prophecy is one of those ships. Dominic's is one of the battleships that can be excellent at that job. Most faction battleships can do that just fine. Now, the ships that I fly mostly, they are excellent at close range combat. Used to have my cover tops built for long range before I swapped the ship to be PvP only, and it did work quite well. That fit would actually work even better now after all these updates, because back then we did have these very deadly, very fast cruisers and battle cruisers that were a main threat. Now, because those ships are gone, the danger of getting swarmed by those ships is gone, and having a speed tank plus range on a arbitrary cover tops would work. And that fit is actually still relevant to this day, although I don't use the ship in that way now. I am waiting for the Astero. That ship will be built for a wide spectrum of situations, including PvP, including exploration, and including storyline missions, because it is a drone boat. With that ship I actually have a lot of ideas in mind, and I might make one of those ships be... Well, actually, if you think about it, I might make one of these ships go down in Legends in this game, because I have very big plans for them. they offer for some fantastic tactics actually, when you think about it. And I have some tactics already planned and already developed. And of course, I have some ideas for the future for those ships, because I am mainly a drone boat pilot. I like to do PvP a lot, and well, I like to make money out of PvP. So far, it has been working pretty well. I think I made at least a couple billion from PvP only, from looting and from pretty much shooting down ships. And with the Stratios, I think I will be a lot more effective, because it allows me for some new tactics that I did develop. And well, if I had the ship right now, the tactics would be actually deadly. So can't wait for those ships to be released. It's gonna be fun, I can tell you that already. It's going to be fun. Now, as for this fleet, as for this military ship, it's doing a fantastic job. Can easily shoot down all of these ships, and keep in mind, this is a tier 6 ship. You can do tier 8 storylines with it with ease. You can do tier 6 storylines with ease. You can do tier 9 storylines and tier 9 encounters with ease. And I think you can actually do the elite missions, the elite tier 8, tier 9 missions that have elite battleships in them, which is impressive. And one thing that kind of confuses me about this ship is its signature radius. I expected that to be around 50 meters maybe, not 86. That might be changed into the future, I hope, because if you think about it, it's really ridiculous if you have a Cinnabal to have a smaller signature radius than this Stabber. Although the Stabber is known for its speed, for its low signature radius, it's also known for its agility. So I think these ships need a little boost, and they need a little bit of tweaking to make them perfect for their price. Now, I have to say, the price of this ship is rather cheap for its performance. I got this ship for 50 million, and someone will get this ship for free in 48 hours after this has been uploaded, because like I said, I am giving away this ship for free. And well, I am very satisfied with its performance. It's doing a fantastic job so far. Now, I could technically get maybe 700 cold DPS on this ship if I were to focus it on DPS, and I might actually be able to get around 890 to 950 hot DPS with dual gyros. Definitely will have to play around with that when I have time. But yeah, this ship is deadly, and with the PvP fit, I think I could do some damage with this, because it almost has as much shield as my Cinnabal. Cinnabal has 7,400. This ship has 8,000, which is impressive, very impressive actually. So you can make the ship very deadly, and definitely you can catch some unsuspecting targets who think that they can take the ship one-on-one, which would be funny, and it is definitely going to happen. It already might have happened, I don't know. Okay, the tank so far has been holding out quite well. I actually did clear a couple of tier 8 storylines with this ship, and I was quite impressed. It did take a little bit more time to clear them, but it did clear them, and that is indeed interesting, because I remember seeing a lot of other very expensive ships being blown in tier 8 storylines, while this little ship here actually does a fantastic job without dying. So definitely a very fun to fly, and a very efficient and a very thankful ship for its price and for its tier. It's interesting. Now the tier system is kind of weird sometimes, but in the end you have to remember this is EVE, and you can make literally everything work if you have enough inspiration and if you have enough creativity. which in my case here is, as you can see, working just fine. Now, against frigates and against destroyers, you go keep at range. Against cruisers, you can keep at range, but you can orbit, and against larger ships, you can orbit. Smaller ships are going to be easier. They're going to get easier hit if you keep them at range than if you're orbiting them. The turrets have to do less tracking if you keep them at range, while if you're shooting a larger target, you can orbit because they're easier to hit, and that pretty much is applied to all ships with turrets, including lasers, including cannons, including railguns. Missiles, well, for missiles you need to slow down the enemy ship and to increase the missile velocity and the explosion velocity. Smaller targets are going to be faster and they're going to be immune towards the explosion velocity because the explosion velocity will be a lot slower than the ship that's moving. But again, missiles are missiles and missiles are still deadly, so be careful around ships that have missiles, including the storyline ships. Now, because this ship is using turrets, you should avoid Amara storylines because they have tracking disruptors. They can mess up the tracking of your turrets, and that can be a problem. But you're safe to do the Galante storylines, Minmatar storylines, and Caldera storylines. They are going to be done very quickly, very easily with this ship, and so far I am definitely impressed by the military version of the Stabber, which might be the best cruiser in EVE overall because this ship just has so much uses. You can actually use it for a fleet, for PvP, for missions. Literally, it works in every situation that you can imagine. And well, I think that's the reason why people love this ship so much, because it is just doing a fantastic job at everything. Well then, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.